only the people who really know what it is talk about it. And it's incredible how they can try to put like a kind of curtain around. Don't talk about it. It will be very good for our business. It's not true. It will be good for the business of the one person, not for the business of the population, not at all. It will not be good on economical way. It would not be good for the protection of the norms. It will not be good for the services, the public services, for nothing almost, for democracy also. Ceta is the free trade treaty between Europe and Canada. So my first idea was to go to the specialists, between brackets, so people who are working in NGOs who are studying the Ceta. When I started my first interviews, the text of the Ceta was just ready. It was like in the month of March 2016. Then I thought, with this information, I go to the politics and I ask them questions and I see how much they know about it. And when I went seeing the politics, I saw that the politics that are against the treaty, they knew quite a lot what it was all about. But the persons that were in favor of the treaty, in general, they almost didn't know what it was talking about. And they were not really interested to know the content of the treaty. These treaties are made on measure for multinationals, for big companies, the big industry, because they are putting much more in concurrence the different countries. So this means that Europe will be put in concurrence with Canada. And yeah, if you put people in concurrence, the strongest ones are winning. So this means that the little local enterprises, local agronomy, have a lot of difficulties to be able to go in competition with the big industry of the multinationals and the much bigger industry of agriculture in Canada. That's the economical part. And then you have, of course, the ICS, that is the private courts, where multinationals can, in an unilateral way, attack the governments when governments are editing laws that are against their profits. Normally, here in Europe, governments are quite trying to protect the consumers, to protect the population, for the health, environment, work, etc. And what happened is that this whole neoliberal policy is trying to put as much as possible everything that has to do with the government in private hands. What means that private hands are wanting to make profits. This means that not everybody has the rights anymore for education, for health, for a good environment, etc. And that is a catastrophe. For me, one of the very important topics is the financial topic. You know, we had the crisis of 2008, and they were saying, well, we have to regulate. It was the Commission of Stiglitz who was saying we have to regulate. We have to take care that there is a division between the two different banks, investment banks and banks where people put their money. And what do we see in Ceta is that there is even a bigger deregulation. They are saying we cannot split up a bank anymore. You cannot limit the hugeness of a bank. That's completely crazy. When I heard talking about this, I was really like, my God, it's even worse. Everything I learned was even worse what I could have dreamed of. So it's really a huge thing, and nobody talks about it. What we see is that in the media, in the mainstream media, they almost never talk about it, first of all. And second of all, the institutions were trying to push these treaties without talking about it too much. For instance, we had 3,300,000 and so on signatures from people in Europe who were against Ceta and TTIP. That's enormous, that's huge. And they never talked about it. They never talked about it. 3,300,000, that's incredible. What we see is that the media are also directed by the same people who are directing Europe in a certain way. We see every time that if you are really on the streets, if you are really seeing what is happening. They're saying all the time in the media, on TV, they are all the time saying, don't worry, we are going to take care of you, everything will be all right. And it's not true. Everything will not be all right.